Hey mages, welcome to today's video, and today we are looking at the top 10 most expensive cards from Magic Foundations. Now it's the official release today, but cards have been getting in players' hands because we had pre-release last week, which means if you go to an LGS you can buy some products as well. The prices have settled down a little bit, and there's definitely some interesting price changes. Now we know when the first set gets put on there, everything is super high, but everything has definitely lowered. Now this is an interesting set because this set is around for 5 years. So I think definitely, and a lot of you will agree with me, will affect the prices of these cards. Some will go up over time and some will go down in the popularity of the cards. So it's really good looking at the MTG finance of this set, I feel. Now, let's chuck a few stats at you before we get to that top 10. There is no white cards that make the list, and there is no multicoloured cards that make the list either. There is 3 black cards, 2 green cards, 2 red cards, 2 colourless, and just the 1 lonely blue card that has made the list as well. So a lot of these are new cards. There is 2 reprints made the top 10 list, and there is 8 brand new cards. So, without further ado, we're going to start at number 10 and look at what are the 10 most expensive cards in Magic Foundations. So, coming in at number 10 is the first reprint. It's Liliana Dreadhorde General. This Planeswalker is a sweet Planeswalker. Really nice that it's come back in. It's going to be in standard for an absolute while. Coming in at £5.16 is the average price at the moment. And like I said, this is a reprint. 6 mana, I think, could be, it's definitely going to see hopefully a little bit playing standard in some kind of control decks at the top end. And this price has basically been level for around the time. It hasn't been up or down. But it is a very good reprint. And, still commanding that price. £5 cheap is still, it's fairly cheap for a decent Planeswalker. Nice to see it in there at number 10. So the next card on the list is a Banner of Kinship, and this to me is going to be like, a lot of staples in Commander. A lot of these cards, the prices are based around Commander, I do think, and they will gradually, some of these, like Banner of Kinship, that was a stupidly high price, that of course has come at spiraling down. But this for me is one that could definitely go up. If you're playing any type of tribal decks with creatures you control of the chosen type, this will give them all +1/1 with the amount of counters that this has when it enters all those fellowship counters. So to me, it's definitely going to be playing, if you're playing anything Merfolk decks, anything like that in Commander, I think this is going to be very good. Standard play, bit too expensive, I think. 5 mana, you could possibly ramp it out quicker, but to me, its definite place is in Commander. Blasphemous Edict. This is around 624, has come down, but I've got a funny feeling this card may go back up again. So this could be a good price. May drop a touch, but I feel like this one will be steady and then we'll go back up again. It's a really, really good card. So you may pay 1 black mana rather than pay this spell's mana cost if there is 13 or more creatures on the battlefield. Now, standard, that may be hard. Still going to be used in standard because I think the 5 mana Wrath is still okay in standard. But Commander for a 1 mana, this is just going to be brilliant. Each player then sacrifices 13 creatures of their choice. But if you've got 4 players and the total is over 13, yeah, it's just going to happen, isn't it? This is a really good card, and I feel like, this one possibly could sneak back up again. So let me go for our first red card, and it's Rite of the Dragon Caller, a 4. Double red enchantment. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, create a 5/5 red dragon creature token. Now, yet again, you might be able to cheat this into play and play something standard, but this is all about Commander. Again, this card has leveled out in price. It's about $6.69 is the average price. And I will say now that all my prices for this are coming from the channel sponsors, Cardmarket. So, to me, if you're playing Dragon, Dragon is a very popular archetype in Commander. You're probably going to be picking this mythic up. Maybe when it drops down a bit, I do feel like this one will probably drop down a touch. So, maybe hold on a little bit for this one. We then go to our single blue card, and it's a Planeswalker. It's Kato Cunning Infiltrator, 1 double blue. So this is averaging around $6.89 and plummeted in price. It's a 3 mana Planeswalkers, in the past have been pretty decent when you think about it, especially blue ones as well. So this comes in with Loyalty 3. Whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, you get to put a loyalty counter on it. +1 up to 1 target creature you control can't be blocked this turn. Draw a card, discard. -2 creates a ninja, so it has protection as well. So I'm feeling like some blue decks really want to play this, and I hope this gets seen a little bit in standard. The -9, you get an emblem whenever a player casts a spell, you create a 2/1 ninja token. So ninjas definitely going in my Commander ninja deck without a doubt. Can we make some sort of ninja deck in standard? Or, you know, just have this as a really good planeswalker. I feel like just under £7 for this mythic it's actually a good price. It has come down, so I feel like this is a decent price at the moment. But will it drop down a little bit more? Quite possibly, just a touch, but I always feel like, you know, the 3-mana planeswalkers with the ability to protect itself with a creature as well always do rather well. So number 5 on the list is Quilled Great Worm. This was in the top 3 prices when it first came out. Obviously dropped down now, £7.70. Still does what green does. Green decks are going to be picking this up. Going to see playing a bit of standard in mono green, I think, and in green ramp. If we get anything, you know, any type of ramp decks. It's still a 7/7 with trample for 6 mana, which is good. Whenever a creature you control deals combat damage during your turn, put that many 1/1 counters on it. I mean, just brilliant. You may cast this card from your graveyard by removing 6 counters from creatures you can control in addition to paying its cost. So it has a, you know, expensive sort of, well, not expensive because you're then paying the cost and then just removing some counters. So in a dedicated counter deck, this is going to be some really good recursion. So I think for a mythic, it has a lot going on, bigger stats than it is as well. Put in all your green command decks, and I definitely think this will see just a touch of standard play. Twin Flame Tyrant is in there, another dragon. Interestingly, we have 2 dragon cards in it because, like I said, dragon is a, you know, it's a good card for Commander. It's a fancied archetype. This is a 3/5 though, so 3/5 for 5 mana. Non-legendary though. If a source you control deal damage to an opponent or a permanent opponent controls, it deals double that damage. Now, being 5 mana, I feel like this could definitely see some standard play. It's a really good, you know, creature, 3/5 flying evasion, and it's just if a source you control. So it's not just this creature; it can give it to all other sources as well. Double damage, we know is really good. Of course, it's going to be slipping into Dragon Commander decks without a doubt, and probably some other decks as well for double damage. Red likes to do that, double damage, and Charman's triple damage, everything like that. So I think this, you know, it's holding a good price, and it's gradually on the rise. It's currently around 11.19 as an average, but this one is sneaking up, and it's definitely one of the big movers from early when this was a lot lower price and is now sneaking back up in price. Absolutely amazing reprint. This is doubling season at around $14.94 at the moment, and this one is creeping back up again. I've seen some just in like the UK sales are going £15, £16, but the average is around $14.94. This, we know if you've been playing Magic a long time, you know this is a really good card. If you're new here, this is just an absolute brilliant card for Commander. If an effect would create 1 or more tokens under control, you create twice that many instead. If an effect put 1 or more counters on permanent, you put twice that many instead as well. So this would go great in a Quilled Worm deck, wouldn't it? This would just be brilliant in some kind of Commander deck with that. But great reprint. So happy to see this back, and hopefully the price will level out a bit. But you know, this is one. There's going to be a lot of printings in this within 5 years, but I do think that this card will definitely sneak back up. We now go to number 2, and it's Sire of 7 Deaths. This 7/7 colorless creature has First Strike, Vigilance, Menace, Trample, Reach, Lifelink, and the ward is pay 7 life. I mean, it's crazy. No wonder this card is, you know, so heavily priced at $16.37 as an average, but has been coming down. This was originally the most expensive card when spoiled in the set, but now has dropped down to the number 2 spot at the moment. But still, I mean, with all those keywords in it, it's just absolutely amazing. Key soup decks are going to love a creature like this. I just think it's really good. I've not come across it yet in play at all, but I just think this Commander absolute staple for any type of colours. Eldrazi decks are always popular. Maybe some other formats as well. I don't keep up with Modern very much, but people let me know if you do think this will see any. Is there any Eldrazi decks in Modern or any others thing like that? 7 mana, but obviously you can ramp out and everything like that. Let me know. But yeah, this is a pretty special card. This is really what Mythics are about. Mythics, well, this is maybe an over-top Mythic with all those keywords, but yeah, a sweet card. But let's get on to the number 1 card. So the number 1 card, this was always around the top 3 or 4 cards, and it's just the zoomed up in price to the number 1. Still, the top card in this set is under £20. So at 18.33, this is averaging, this is your most expensive card with the normal arts, I'm saying. You can get different arts with different prices, but this is the majority of cards that people are going to pull. So this is a 5/5 vampire, nice creature type there, knight as well, for 5 mana, flying, death touch, and whenever opponent loses life, we gain that much life. So when you gain that much life, there's loads and loads of drain and gain type effects. Standard play, there's already a combo with this out there, of course, with life gain, draining and gaining. There's a combo, infinite combo in standard with this card already. Commander, definitely going to be putting in vampires, very popular archetype there. And it's just a really, really good creature. The ability that it does have is going to be a very, very popular one. And I could, see this card staying the same price, or if not going up a bit more as it becomes popular. If it gets played even more in standard, in tournaments and stuff like that, price is going to go up. And of course, people are going to be wanting picking this up for Commander. But like I said, with a lot of these, this is a 5-year set. So some cards will come out of the bushes. You just won't even see them coming. That will just zoom up in price. So if there's cards that you think are sleepers, let me know down below. I've been interested in your thoughts on this set, what you think, and which cards you think are just too lowly priced are going to come up. Share your knowledge and let everyone see, and maybe we can pick up a few bargains. Or, just tell me which ones you think will see play in standard as well, because we are a standard mainly channel, and I would love to know which ones you think will be really, really good and maybe just not being used at the moment. I hope you've enjoyed today's video. Thank you for taking the time to watch it. If you want to become a Patreon and support me extra further, do that. There's a list here of these great people that support me as well. All your support for staying here at the end of the video is amazing. You're absolute legends. Give it a thumbs up if you enjoy the video as well. Always appreciated. You lot take care, and I'll see you on the next video.